even further beyond!
Yes sir, my name's Zakashi, and in this video we got something a little cool, something a little small, but just a few heads up for you guys that are pulling Ultra GOGETA today, because today is his day. His banner has re-released and I've been using him for a while. My second favorite unit in the game. I'm not gonna say why he's not first, but he is the best unit in the game right now, objectively speaking. His kit is phenomenal, stats are insane, he does so much damage, and he just clear everybody else, man. That's just what it is. So a lot of you guys are going to be pulling him today, and since I've been using him for a while, I do have him 14 stars, because he is my guy, like, trust me. I'm going to give a few tips on how you can actually just improve your gameplay of him, generally speaking. I've gotten godly 5 times just using him. That's how nuts he is. It makes playing Legends so much more easier, fun. PvP for you will be more of a breeze. So hopefully these tips are they're obvious things at the same time, but they might not be so obvious. So tune in, let me know which one you felt was the most useful. I'll try to put things in that are not so obvious, but sometimes when you get a new character or you're just used to using them, you sometimes just forget. But hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We are on this grind to 25,000 subscribers, very close there, trust me. Very close. So if you can press that red button, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't already, all my social media links are going to be on the left. It's the YouTube channel, but we've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's get into these things. It should be about 5 things. I might slide in some honorable mentions. Let's get it, man. Now the first thing I'm going to get into is something really small, but it's something you should really pay attention to. It's the fact that when he gets Rising Rushed, he shortens his ally sub count by 5. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is important is because it mixes very well with the fact that we all know he has a strike cover change which can mix into a blue card instantly. Now, this allows you to make a lot more riskier plays where you would cover change with him, and then even if they rise and rush right after that, you could switch him back out. But it's the fact that you get extra opportunity to save yourself right before someone might rise and rush. So if you feel they might rise and rush maybe in 1 or 2 cards or at the end of their combo, just risk cover changing with GOGETA. But also just look at your sub count. Maybe it'll be at like 6, maybe it'll be at like 5. If it's 5, that's great, because then it will, if they activate their rise and rush thinking, oh yeah, I can rise and rush Ultra GOGETA, they just jam. They can't do that because the sub counts for your allies are going to get reduced by 5, and then you can swap them out. Especially if you're running him with an endurance character. I often run him with Marjube. It just allows you to stay alive much longer, and just for the opportunity to possibly cover change them. And if you have a blue card in your deck, you destroyed all their cards and you did probably one of the biggest types of damage you can do consistently throughout the whole game, minus the ultimate arts, of course. So that's just something you should really take in. A lot of people, I see them not even risking switching him in, but if you could just think that few steps ahead, then you just completely outplay your opponent, get an extra opportunity to just kill them, maybe even win the game. It could be down to that last play where if you used your head a little bit more, you'd actually get the upper hand in the battle. So that's one. Make sure you pay attention to the sub count, your allies substitution count, and know that you have a cover change, a strike cover change, so that you can put those together and play ahead, just in case you might have been able to come out of that combo when you're getting hit. Otherwise you wouldn't have been able to. So we're gonna go counting down, or maybe we should count up. I'll say this is number 2. Blast armor. Like, people don't use this as much as they should. It's honestly, in my opinion, genuinely speaking, I'm not even capping, the best mechanic in the game. If a unit has blast armor on their strikes, you get so many more opportunities to outplay your enemy. It's dumb. It's actually silly. Even when your enemy is attacking you with a blast art, you can still charge forward and just forget about the fact they did that damage. But specifically with Ultra GOGETA, because every time he fills his gauge, you get your health back. Taking that risk with blast armor with GOGETA means absolutely nothing. You will gain it back if you get that priority using your blast armor. You can do the pro moves from long range, which is what I call it, where they blast darts, you strike through but you cancel at mid range with the blast darts in the middle. I got a video on that on my channel so that they can actually sidestep. It's very difficult to explain, but once you see it, it'll be like, oh my days, that's what they're doing. You could do it from mid range, the ultimate arts. You got so many options with blast armor, man. Just the fact that it gives you an extra opportunity to attack, don't know why you wouldn't utilize it. You need to get very comfortable with using it. Don't be scared to take those risks, even from long range. Sometimes when you know they're clearly just gonna blast darts, you can full screen them, bro. Like, it's actually disgusting. Blast armor is something that I push so heavily. I genuinely think it's the best mechanic in the game. If you have it, you have more opportunities on the battlefield. It doesn't matter what your enemy has. You will always have priority if you're using it well. It's number 2, blast armor. Number 3 is probably the most valuable thing. It's kind of like using UI Goku. Number 3, we've got his blue card. His blue card's very important because it destroys all of your enemy's cards. Now, when it destroys all your enemy cards, what does that mean for your enemy? They can't attack. That's simply just what it is. If you use your blue card at the end of your combo, or even better, earlier in your combo, you will still have many cards. Or if you don't have any cards, it still also means your enemy doesn't have any cards. So you both have no cards. Let's say you used your blue card after vanishing to get your priority somehow. So now you've used the blue card, you have no vanish and no cards. They have a vanish but no cards. You're in a stalemate. But if you're running Ultra GOGETA, which is going to be my next point, you should generally be using him for his strike damage. He's a melee type. The strike damage is what's going to get you bodies. So knowing that you're probably drawing a strike arts next, even if they attack you using a blast, which would be the odds, because they're long range, that's what people opt in for. You can use your blast armor to stay alive and even refill your gauge. So kind of like how UI would do, you stay long range. If you don't have a vanish gauge, you use your the auto dodge thing, the other gauge, so that you can dodge in the meantime, but refilling your actual gauge so you can vanish again. In this case, you're taking advantage of the fact that the enemy has no cards, so that you can actually gain your gauge back and still do more damage with Ultra GOGETA, get another blue card, fill up your alternate. Like, just take advantage of all of that. It puts you so far ahead, where switching out, you'd be doing less damage because Ultra GOGETA is going to be the best unit on your team 9 times out of 10. So you want to be staying in with him as long as you can, so you can do the most damage, gain the most blue cards, destroy the cards many times, blue cards, ultimate arts, like whatever it is, man. He's nuts. You only really want to switch out if they're going to try rush you or something. So yeah, maybe a cover change, you might lose priority. But using the blue card to your advantage, you can gain your gauge back. That's the biggest thing you can do in the battlefield, and that will give you so much of an edge in the battlefield you don't understand. Now, this here is for the green card, but it's about when to use it, not the fact that you can use it. So first we'll go into what it can do. You get your key, you get your strike damage, nullify the cover chain, so you can't get cover chains with 10 timer counts, and you cancel your attribute downgrades in the normal conditions. You cancel enemy attribute upgrades, and that only activates twice. So you need to know everything in that green card. It's a very fat green card. When you're using it, you need to pay attention to why you're using it. So you might want to use it for the key, so you can actually do more damage with your cards. That's very useful. But then you lose out on maybe the benefits of a longer combo because of the cover change thing. They know that they can't cover change. The enemy will know that they can't cover change if you use the green card, simply because of that effect. So then you'd be running down the timer counts before you even got priority, taking that risk. But it's because you wanted the key. The strike damage should be at the bottom of your priority list because you're going to do a lot of strike damage regardless. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I really want you guys to consider when pressing your green card is whether you've already got priority or if your gauge is almost full. Now, you might need to gain health because you're really low. You've been losing priority the whole time, and you might just need a little bit more, and that green card could come in clutch, like for real. Your green card could give you key, and then it will allow you to do a card which will allow you to actually fill your gauge, so you can use it in that sense as well. If you're going to use it for the cover change factors, I always advise getting priority first, then using your green card. And that's simply because if you use your priority, get your priority first, and then use your green card after, that way you'd actually extend the amount of timer counts that they can't cover change you with a special cover change. So like G4, for example, UI Goku, instant transmission, anything of that sort, strike covers, blast covers, etc, etc. You want to extend that time so you can keep going with your combo. When your gauge fills, it should fill in one combo, and you should be only able to draw one card anyways in most cases. You can just keep repeating your combo in that sense, and you have longer opportunities to extend your combo. Sometimes in the battlefield, I get a bit too hasty and I just use the green card straight away. Like at the start of the game, I often do that because I assume that they're going to blast arts. But maybe if I saved it, I'd be in a better position to do maybe 1 or 2 more cards, and that could actually be the difference when playing a game. So you need to very much think about when you need to use your green card, because it's extremely valuable and it can really make the difference. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is actually the fact that he's a last stand unit. But not even just a last stand unit, he's a last stand unit when it's 2v3 as well. If you just kill one of his homies, he's a last stand unit OP. Knowing this, you need to know that if you're gonna have him as a last stand unit, and with the sub count reduction thing, you shouldn't be scared of using your ultimate arts. His ultimate comes up very quick. I think it's the fastest in the game. Within 20 timer counts, you can pop your main, your ultimate's up, and then when you pop the ultimate, the big thing is that you get 30 seconds of nullify endurance. That is nuts. So getting it off straight away is a very big deal. On top of the fact that if he's 1v1 or 1v2 or 1v3, if he's the last standing unit on his team, he will get another ultimate arts off rip. But the reason I also say to use your ultimate arts pretty much as soon as you can, just to do as much damage, is simply because if one of your homies die as well, the last stand thing, he locks in. The lock-in, you need to play that to your advantage. So maybe you might have priority with one of your other units, your 2v3. Let's just say. Instead of switching out to him straight away, do as much damage with that one unit you got in. Maybe you're just type neutral. But when you switch out to GOGETA, and then you might want to pop your main straight away, they're locked in for 5 timer counts. So it's the same thing as when you're using your green card, it's when you're switching out to GOGETA with his last stand-esque mechanics. If you switch out straight away, you lose the amount of timer counts that you could do damage with, whereas if you switched out a bit later, you get the 5 timer counts later and forcefully stick them in. You could also have a rush into that. Those little things that you think about, especially when it's like a 1v3 situation, a 2v3 situation, depending on when you switch out to him, will actually make the difference. So try not to panic, especially when you're down, because trust me, that's when he thrives. Being down is actually being up when you have Ultra GOGETA, but you just have to have that mentality to know that if I switch into him, they're locked in. And a big thing is that he's type neutral, I believe. He goes type neutral for 10 timer counts, which is insane. It only activates twice, both of those, but that could literally change the game, especially when you have an ultimate art as strong as him, literally the best character in the game. But yeah, man, that's gonna wrap up the video. Those are things that I always have in mind. It's about literally just knowing the future. Like, I'm out here like Eren Yeager, honestly. you gotta see ahead. You gotta have that strong colors of observation, man. I'm trying to tell you that if you actually think ahead with this stacked kit, nothing can stop you, generally, unless you make a mistake. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Press that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on this grind to 25,000 subscribers. Like I said, we're very close. If you did enjoy this video, do me that favor. All my social media links on the left is the YouTube channel, but we've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. But I'm gonna leave it like that, guys. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Please, lend me your energy!